Welcome back to Chaos Collectibles. So today we're going to talk about the controversy with the latest pre-order PCS, Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer half-scale statues. So PCS last week ended up releasing some images of the war paint version along with the regular version of Conan half-scale statue. And there's been a lot of negativity surrounding this piece. Now I will say that the face on this thing is probably about 80%. The eyes aren't quite right. I don't know if they're too far apart. I know they do look a little squinty, a little small. And then there's some issues with the hair. Some people say it's too muscular and doesn't really, have Arnold's exact body. But there's a couple things that we need to realize here. One is whenever someone does a statue or any type of artwork, there's always some type of artist interpretation that goes into that. I do agree that there should be some tweaking done to the face. The hair could be a little bit better as far as the sculpting goes on it, so that it looks a little finer and that the strands don't look so large. Some people did say that they'd like to see rooted hair. Now, I don't know if I really like rooted hair in a lot of these things because Prime 1, okay? Prime 1 just released a 1/3 scale Terminator. And I'll tell you right now, the likeness on this Conan is better than that Terminator. The way the face looks, in my opinion, it looks much better. And it's not perfect. The rooted hair, I do not like it at all. This is just my own opinion. Because one, it's too long, the hairstyle's not right. I think it would have looked better if it was sculpted hair. But that is just my own personal opinion. So, one thing I will say is there was similar type of controversy regarding a Michael Jordan statue that they did recently. And Prime 1 does listen to the customers, fans, whichever you prefer to call them, and has made some tweaks to the face along with the shoes and some other details regarding the jersey and stuff like that. In my opinion, it's a pretty damn good looking statue, although I wouldn't buy it. Really not a big sports fan myself. But with this Conan, I did go ahead and I did pull the trigger on this thing because any flaws, 90% of them would be covered up with that war paint anyways. And to get a Conan statue is very hard to do. There's only so many of them, especially with the likeness of the 1982 Conan the Barbarian movie. And Conan stuff is, it holds its value. That's all I can say about that. Anything Conan is going to either go up in value or it's going to maintain its value. And that's not really why I buy things. I just happen to be a big fan of Conan anyways, because I'm not somebody who flips stuff. I'm not someone who sells stuff. Used to sell things. In fact, speaking of selling stuff, I'm kind of getting off track here, but my buddy Matt Watson just did a video on eBay and all their fees. If you get a chance, check it out. But yeah, that's why I don't sell things, because one, go on eBay. I used to sell eBay stuff quite often just to try to have my collection kind of pay for itself. But PayPal ended up putting this thing in place, and I know I've talked about this before, where they tax you like income now. So why would I want to buy something for $100, flip it for $150? eBay takes out 20% fees and PayPal fees. So now you're down to what? $150, we'll say $30, that's $120. Now they're going to tax you on $120 at about 25%. So now you're down to $90. You just lost $10 and put all that work into it. So what's the point? Anyhow, done with that rant. Back to the Conan. Very cool looking statue. The swords are going to be metal blades, and which is really awesome. If you order through PCS, you do save about 10% on this thing, as opposed to going through Sideshow. And you do get the father sword along with an extra base with it. I wished I was better at this stuff because I do the little edit and show you the details of this thing and go through all that stuff, but I don't know how to do all that stuff. So either way, that is pretty much my thoughts on this thing. I'm picking it up anyways. I just put down the 10% deposit on this, and I expect to probably get it in a year. And that's the thing with collecting. Going on another rant here. A lot of times people get very impatient. And when it comes to realm of the underworld, you have to be patient with stuff. Or if Mike has something on one of the auctions, buy it because you may never see it again. Now with statues, it's kind of the same way. Everything goes into pre-order. After the pre-order process is over, it usually takes 10 months to a year, sometimes a little bit longer to get the item. That's just the way it goes. But this Conan is going to be 200 pieces of the Gold EX and the Deluxe EX, which are the ones that come with the Father's Sword. You get to choose your base on whether or not you want the skull base or the temple base. I chose the temple base because it's more movie accurate, which is pretty cool. Has the little logos on it with the snakes facing each other, Thulsa Doom logos, so I thought that was pretty kick-ass. But yeah, I'm expecting PCS to probably do some tweaking to this thing. And I think it looks pretty good the way it is, especially the war paint version. So if they can make it look better, I'm happy. And this thing's going to have acrylic eyes as well, which is really freaking cool. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to announce that as well. So once I do get that thing, probably next year, Sideshow says they're expecting it to ship by November. PCS says to be determined. So either way, I'm expecting it probably to be sometime next spring. That's what we're looking at. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the PCS Conan statue, mixed media. Looks pretty cool. Can't wait to get it. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I hope you all have an awesome day. Until next time. Woo!